Good evening. It is Wednesday, March 25th, 2026, and coming to you from Lonely Tree Media headquarters in Tacoma, Washington, this is the Best Lamm Sports Show. I'm digging that music, though. I'm not
It's
gonna
not
lie.
bad.
I'm not gonna lie.
It shut off. It shut off really fast just now.
Yeah, I don't have it queued to fade
To
like I'd
fade.
like to. It's not in my Go XLR. It's right off the
Gotcha.
yeah, the
Desktop.
page.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of funky. Anyway, I'm your host, David Lamm. With me is my son Parker. Say hello, Parker.
Hello, Parker.
That one we have queued up and ready.
Yeah,
Those
that one's
fans are
pretty
always
good.
the fans are always ready.
Always.
We got a couple things to talk about today. Before we get started, what's new? What's new with you? Catch you off
Uh,
guard. You're not ready.
yeah, you did catch me off guard. Yeah, just wrapped up a kids camp this week, and you want to hear the funniest thing?
Yes.
So at this kids camp, they played a game called Hunger Games, and what they did was, all right, so it's in the half field. It's a little cross camp. It's in the half field, and they take six nets and line them up facing towards the wall, so not towards the midfield. So like one, two, three, and then another row of one, two, three. Then they put a bunch of balls all over the field. The kids line up on the back wall, and the counselors, who in this case are Mammoth players, are lined up at midfield. The kids have to get the balls and return them to the back wall in two teams, team on the left, team on the right, while the counselors are trying to pelt them with tennis balls. And the team with the most balls at the end of the time wins. If you get hit, you have to go down, but you can be revived by your team's medic. The medic are the goalies, like, and they're running around with their little goalie pads on, reviving people. It was hilarious because the moment they said go, one of our guys just ripped an absolute rocket at the head of one of the kids. He's wearing a helmet,
Are they
but
throwing?
like I was like, oh,
Are they
that
shooting
was
them?
impressive.
Are they shooting them out of a lacrosse like a stick? Throwing them at them like that?
Yeah, our guys
Okay.
all have sticks and
Okay.
they're slinging them at him.
I was just
And then
I was picturing them just throwing it, right? Picking up tennis balls and just chucking them. No, but throwing
that
them
would
even
be
better.
pretty funny
Yeah.
too. I bet because they can throw tennis balls. They lose a lot of speed because they're so light, but
Yeah.
they can throw a tennis ball probably a good 50 miles an hour,
Sure.
like with a lacrosse stick. So yeah, I'm sitting over there behind some glass, just watching pro athletes pelt 9 to 13-year-olds
it's a
with tennis balls.
it's a win-win because the kids get to learn to play with distraction, and the adults get to pelt kids with tennis balls.
And then the parents in the crowd are dying laughing. And that's what the leader of our camp kept saying. And he was like, I kept looking over, and as long as the parents were enjoying themselves,
Yep.
we were doing okay.
Doing all right. That's right. Oh,
But yeah,
that's
it was pretty
that
funny.
is hilarious. Yeah, that's great.
It was
Is
it
that
was
so-
it was it was probably my favorite part of the weekend or the week.
wow, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine it be probably the players too. Most fun part of the week.
Oh, they were smiling ear to ear. We have one
Yeah.
player in particular, I won't name him, but he's a bit of a sniper, and he was head hunting.
Yeah.
He was I could see him like ducking. He wasn't just slinging them like some guys. He was looking and making his mark, and then would fire one and would just nail some kid in the back as he's running away.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Meanwhile, that kid's parents are cheering from the sideline.
Right? They're enjoying it. You know what? We
Yeah,
paid money for our kid to get hit in the head. Anyway,
it's fun all the way around.
so today's opening day for baseball officially. Yankees and Giants are playing. It is 5-0 Yankees in the second, and literally they just scored 5 runs. Because at the end of one it was 0-0. So they've scored 5 runs in the top of the second, take a 5-0 lead on the Giants. Opening day, I guess tomorrow there's 11 games. So everyone plays
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's just this game apparently, and it seems to me like opening day gets just a little earlier every year. Used to be April, first weekend in April. That was opening day. Now we're to the last weekend in March. It just keeps creeping. Kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if that, not everybody's like that, but baseball seems to be doing that. I think they're trying to stretch the season and put extra days off in. That's what I think they're trying to do.
Yeah.
because there's 162
Well,
games, and I get it. It's weird.
see, and that's what but the problem is that you're creeping into Wednesday night. Like, okay,
Yeah.
those Yankee fans are gonna watch Yankees baseball no matter when it is. Those fans, and you know the fans I'm talking about. But the average casual Yankee fan is not tuning in on a Wednesday night to watch baseball. It's not, and,
No.
and this is the problem with baseball is that outside of Saturdays and Sundays and maybe Fridays, you're not drawing people to you unless they're just die-hard baseball fans. And those are the types of people that could recite stats for you back into the 70s. Like they're going to watch every game, but everyone else, no one's doing it, man.
Beginning of the
Like
season,
baseball on Wednesday, who cares?
beginning of the season's kind of weird because the Yankees they play tonight against the Giants. They don't play
Yeah.
tomorrow. They play Friday and Saturday, and they don't play Sunday. So
And then they get on their kind of normal rotation.
yeah, and then of course usually on Monday. Monday's a slow day usually. Um, yeah, and well the Yankees and Mariners play in Seattle on Monday. But anyway,
Ooh,
I know,
awesome,
right?
awesome. I try and go to that one.
It's like a big deal. But anyway, so yeah, baseball starts officially tomorrow if you really want to watch it with a lot of games. Mets play the Pirates 10:15 a.m. It's the first one tomorrow. So Mets are the favorite to win.
10:15 a.m. in the middle of a workday.
Pacific. They're playing in New York, so
It's
it's
a middle.
one.
It's
It's
the middle of a
1:15.
workday. It's the middle of a workday everywhere.
Thursday's
at any time zone.
So Thursday's a getaway day. If you've never heard that term,
No,
getaway day.
I've heard the term, but
Okay.
it's not real anymore. People have to make money.
No, but getaway day for the teams. They play early so that they can fly after and get to where they're going to be for Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, I thought you meant getaway days and like you get out of your office early.
Oh no. Getaway day means you play early because everybody the visiting team usually has to fly somewhere else. So they get out, they have an early game, and then they go and they get on a plane and then they're there wherever they're going to be.
So
Friday,
let me get this straight.
yeah,
It is cost effective to have an early day unattended or an unattended like a fairly low attendance. It being opening weekend might kind of skew those numbers a little bit because people get out for opening weekend, and then but let's say this happens in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
A relatively unattended weekday game that is also not driving TV revenue because no one's watching it there either because they're at work. So low ticket sales, low TV viewership, and you still have to pay to operate the entire stadium and all of its staff. It is benefit. We can't just cut that game.
Yeah, I think you
we couldn't just drop 25 of these a year out of the schedule because we don't need them.
I think you understand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Let me just say this.
Baseball needs to start the process of dropping to 100. Start with 140 games. Drop there and cut out any of these Monday through Thursday games.
The terms cost effective and Major League Baseball don't necessarily go together. So I don't know why you'd put them together in the same. But yeah. Yeah, that's true. And it's not just, I mean, the NFL is the NFL. It has the standard. Why? We play one game a week, right? And no matter what day of the week it is, it's going to be attended. It's going to be full, right? Because it's only 16 or 17 games. It's only one day a week. It's not baseball. When you play on Wednesday, come on. Even if it's Wednesday night after people get off work, it's mediocre attendance. Wednesday night baseball is just mediocre attendance. Thursday getaway day, when we play at 1 o'clock, is extremely hard for people to get to, right?
Yeah.
And you're banking that Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon are going to make you enough money to cover Thursday's fiasco. That's true. That's literally how they do it.
Well, and it will if you're a team that's in contention or a heritage team. Well, that sells tickets like no matter, like Kansas City is a great example of a team that they're good some years, they're not some years, like they're a little up and down, but they have such history and there's nothing else to do in Kansas City in July, so they go to baseball in pretty good droves. But so I'm reading here, it costs between around $200,000 and $300,000 to operate in a baseball park. For a single game. That's the rough estimate that they're giving me based on a Fortune.com article. Okay. So $200,000 to $300,000. So let's say it's on the low end. That's not including player salaries per game because they do get game checks.
Yeah, but that's factored into overall salary. I mean, you can call it a game. Their game check is just their overall salary divided by however many games.
But
Right?
if they played in 25 less games, you could pay them for 25 less games.
I don't
So
know if that's
it
true.
would factor. It would. Well, now,
Oh,
no,
it's
not at this.
yeah.
Not at this point. Now they would be making more per game, is what it would happen.
Right.
But
Yeah.
when future contracts start to come up, would start like newer guys. Like you're never going to stop paying Aaron. You're never going to pay Aaron Judge less unless he wants to.
No.
You're never going to pay Shohei Ohtani less. But a new rookie, you can pay him less because
Yeah.
because there's a new standard in town, which is 140 games, which is 182 or whatever, and you kind of start with that. I said 100. I said minus 25 games, so it'd be what 160 something, 167 games. So start there. Let's cut out 25 weekday games. 157. Cut out 25 weekday games. Let's see what happens.
Well,
and if I'm wrong, if you lose that much money, put them back.
If you went back to, I think it used to be 100. I want to say 148 before they expanded, and in the 70s they made it 162. Well, no, I think it was 60s. So, because Roger Maris in 61, he got the asterisk, right? Everybody said, "Oh, well, you got extra 14 games, so you passing 60 was a big deal. Was because you played extra games." Okay, but nobody now 162 has been the standard since then. So I don't know, but I feel like 148 before there was a time when it was 100. I think it was 148. They played 148 games, but that
was 154 until 1961. I don't know what it was before that.
Yeah, but they played in two divisions or the two leagues, the National League and the American League. There was no division play. There was no, you know what I mean? It was you played everybody. The whole thing was competing for one spot, a World Series spot. You were playing for the pennant. You didn't play for a wild card spot, right? And that was I like that idea of it's all or nothing rather than letting a team get in that's got 89 wins and just happens to be hot right now or has one hot pitcher and can win a series. You know what I mean? That to me is not fair to a team that won 130 games. Not that a team has won 130 games, but if you did, you know what I mean? If you could win 50 more games than this team, but this team all of a sudden gets hot at the right time and they beat you. And that's, to me, there should be we talked about this. My solution was, I think teams should be seeded, and depending upon how many more wins you have than the team you're playing, it should one less win to win the series. So I only need to win 3 games. You got to win 4 games. Make it. Give them a handicap like that. So that way you're not hurting those teams that did what they needed to do in the regular season to win the division, to get the number 1 seed, by letting the number 7 seed sneak in and just happens to get hot at the right time. I don't like those. I just don't like those kind. Football has too many playoff teams. Baseball has too many playoff teams.
What's interesting about that, I say I don't care about the number of playoff teams because playoff sports is better than all sports. The MLB regular season is trash compared to major sports. Our sports.
Well, that's not what I mean.
The MLB playoffs are better compared to the MLB regular season. Period. The NFL playoffs are better than the NFL regular season. Period. Well, they're just better.
Because, okay, let's hold on.
It matters. Every game matters more. That's what makes it better. You can't just drop one and go, it's July. Or you can't just drop one in football and go, it's October. It's not that big a deal. You have to do this now.
I understand your point. What I'm saying is let's take the NBA, for example, right? Number 1 seed versus number 8 seed in the first round is not better basketball. But number 4 and 5 is going to be better basketball. Do you see what I'm saying?
Hold on. I'm not saying that the product is necessarily going to be better, but your investment is higher, which makes it more valuable.
Yeah.
You have no investment in a July baseball game, but you have an investment in every single MLB playoff game. Whether you're the 8th seed or the 1 seed, you're invested in it. You're not invested in a July game.
Everyone says that. And then everyone also cries when their team misses by 1 game, misses the playoffs. Okay, that 1 game in July was super important. It was, but you didn't think it was, but now it is. So don't tell me it's not important.
How many MLB playoff spots in the past 10 years have come down to a single game difference?
Don't know, but how many teams? I know that there's been in recent.
I know it happens in basketball often.
In recent history, there's been multiple teams that have tied, and had to have a play-in, right? And they played in a game. They tied because their wild card record was the same, and they had to play a 1-game playoff. Okay, well, if you have to play a 1-game playoff, why didn't you pay attention in July? You wouldn't have had to play this now. So that's where I'm at. I like every game really matters if you really want it to matter. If you don't want it to matter, then it doesn't matter. But if you're going to go out and play your hardest and say, I want to win 162 games this year, then that's what you do. If you say, oh, well, we only need to win 100 or maybe 95, then you're not going to pay attention. You don't care.
And that's exactly what teams are doing.
Agreed.
That's why they're not playing their starters when they're healthy scratches. That's why the term healthy scratch exists. Because of ownership, because of management. It's because we need to give people the day off because this game doesn't matter as much. That should never happen. You should never have a day where you say this game doesn't matter.
Agreed.
Like, you should never be able to say that. And with 180, 60 something games, you can say that often. Yes, you can make the argument in hindsight at the end of the season, well, maybe those 4 games that we did take off in the middle did matter now. You can make that argument then. You could also make the argument that if you played those guys in those 4 games, and at the end of the season, all those guys are hurt, that, man, we should have taken those 4 days off because now we lost our first round because they got hurt because they overdid it during the season.
Yeah.
It's just that there's a balance in there somewhere between seeing the player, like the NBA needs to drop 20 games a season, right? It's not just the MLB. The NBA needs to do it too. Because we got guys taking load management days for LeBron plays in 40 games a season. He plays in half a season. He's not eligible for most season awards this year because he hasn't played enough games.
Well, he's also
because he's taking games off. Healthy scratches.
In basketball years, he's also 80. So there's that.
I don't even. Yeah,
your body
just
stops
nature,
doing it. You know what I mean? The way you want it to do it. Because he's been injured. He gets injured. He may not miss as many games as other guys, but he does get injured, and it happens more frequently as you get older. So. There's that.
Well,
I understand that, but injuries are injuries.
There's a balance between what you want and what I want.
Injuries are gonna happen. That's a part of life.
Sure.
If you play 40 games, you could get injured in one of those 40. You could get severely injured. It really doesn't matter if you keep yourself in as good a shape as you can, and you play the way you're supposed to play. The risk of injury is lower. But if you're not going to stay in good a shape, and you're going to take days off, and you know that going into the season, that, oh, well, I can just take a day off when I want to. You might not be in as good a shape as you need to be. And that's my problem, is if you're taking days off because you just can't, your body can't handle it, it may be time to retire. It may be time to not play anymore. If you can't play 82 games, right? And not many people do anymore, but they used to. People used to do that all the time.
Yeah, and I know, and their careers were much shorter.
And that's
as a general rule. The average NBA career is longer now because the league is willing to look at some things. You got Luka Doncic has sat 12 games this year. Shai Gilgeous has sat 12 games this year. They're both at 72 total games on the season for the Lakers and Oklahoma City. They both played 60. They've both sat 12 games. 12 games.
That's a lot.
In a NBA season. That's a lot. And guess what? Once their playoff spots are secure, they're going to start sitting more. So these numbers are probably going to rise to 14, 15 games.
That's 14%
per person.
By the way, it's 14% of your season. Yeah.
But for guys who make the most money.
Yeah, and that's
it's because there's the balance. Play enough, make the games matter enough to where players are compelled to play. Make the games important enough to where fans are compelled to attend, but also have enough of them to where you get a clear picture of who's the best and who's the worst for the playoff seeding.
And this is why I say you're watered down. Your watered down playoffs with way too many teams cause those games to be irrelevant. Oh, we're going to get in the playoffs. That's all we care about. We just get in here, and then we can play good then. You know what I mean? Stop that. It used to be Major League Baseball. If you didn't win the National League, win the American League, you're not going to the World Series. You don't have to win a division to get to a division series or a league championship series. That was a no. It was just you had to win the whole freaking league. You had to have the pennant. Now you just have to finish second or third in your division. Sometimes, depending upon your record, to get in, right? And those are what frustrate me. That's what waters it down, because now I know I can take days off in the middle of the season. I don't have to play well the whole season because 90 wins, 88 wins could still get you in. It doesn't. That's kind of the last wild card spot, is in that ballpark. 88 and 74 is not a great record over 162 games. I mean, it's okay, but it's not great. And I feel
when
like
did they switch to winning the when it was not no longer divisions? When it was not divisions? When did they switch to that?
70 something, I say 72, or it became a divisional play. 72, 74, somewhere in that ballpark. They started playing divisional play. I think that's right.
Looks like I'm seeing divisional play in 72. Let me go back to
72.
71.
That sounds right, maybe.
No, it says there's still divisions in
Well, could have
71.
been. Could have been in the 60s and they started it. But when they went to 162 games, they probably started divisional play. So it could have been 60 or 61. I feel like it was in the 70s. 70, that might have been when the DH started.
Let's see here. 1968 was the last year
Okay, there you go.
of of just a National League and what's it called?
American
And
League.
your difference was Detroit was 12 games up on Baltimore, and St. Louis was 9 games up on San Francisco. And they weren't even close.
Yeah, 68.
They weren't even close. Yeah, 68.
Yeah,
Those sides weren't even close. So
yeah. Well, I mean, and that's it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. But at that point, every game matters because you need to win all of those games to get to win the league. You don't have to. You know what I mean?
There was also only 20 teams.
That's true. And then
So
when they expanded,
there was
it became
a
a
lot
problem.
less teams. Yeah.
Right. And the scheduling became a nightmare. And then what I grew up with in the 80s was you had a National League West, a National League East, American League West, and American League East. You had 2, right? And the 2 winners of those divisions played for the league championship series, and then the winners played in the World Series. And that was still okay with me. I was still good with that. And then we added a 3rd division. What? And then we added wild card teams. What? And then we added 3 wild card teams. Come on, man. And pretty soon it's like it's so watered down that the playoffs get so watered down that you don't have to be great to get to the playoffs for a chance to win the championship. I want you to be a great team in the playoffs. I want to see great teams play great teams. I don't want to see mediocre team playing a great team and getting blown out. Who wants to see that? I don't pay my playoff money to go to a playoff game and watch that happen. I mean, come on. I want to see good football. I want to see good baseball. I want to see good basketball. So anyway, that's my point. But I understand the money aspect of it. I do. I fully get why we're doing it. But it shouldn't be about money. It should be about great product. Right? So, there you go.
So here's the thing. Of all the NBA championships, all right, so 79 finals have been played. 53 of them have won by a 1 seed. 16 of them have been won by a 2 seed, and 8 of them have been won by a 3 seed. It's only been 1 4 seed and 1 6 seed that have won them.
Okay.
So really, you only need 4 seeds.
Yeah, right? There you go. You really only need the top.
And really, you only need 2 because that accounts for, 69 of the 79 titles are 1 and 2 seeds.
Yeah.
So even with all the watered downness, it hasn't mattered.
Well, no,
it doesn't matter. The 1s and 2s still get there, but the teams also get their playoff ticket sales on top of the fact that the 1s and 2s still win it also. So you kind of get both. You do still get the best team. The little guy gets a little bit of a shot. Doesn't usually work.
No.
Team gets the sales. We get to watch more playoff basketball, and you still end up with the best teams no matter what. Well, usually. So this is actually a really cool site that I found that will list you all of the finals for all of them. What was the only one that was won by a 4 seed? Looks like Lakers, 1969, beat the Boston Celtics. Oh no, Boston Celtics beat the Lakers in 1969. Yep.
Wow.
Interesting.
This has been playoff talk.
Playoff talk. We jumped right into it.
we might be a little off topic. We may have wasted a little bit of time on this. Let's talk about a couple of other things. Let's talk about Formula One. And this is a week late, and I apologize for that. A day after becoming the youngest driver to ever earn a pole position in an F1 event, Kimi Antonelli went out and won the Chinese Grand Prix last Sunday. Not last Sunday. Last Sunday. Is that right? A week ago.
Last Sunday. Yeah. We go.
Was they on a bye week this
two
week?
sun two
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 Sundays ago.
Sundays ago.
That's how to say it.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 Sundays ago. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and he became the second youngest ever to win an F1 event. Anyway, finished ahead of teammate George Russell and third place Lewis Hamilton, who was back on the podium after a lengthy absence, by the way. Antonelli became the first Italian driver in 20 years to win an F1 race. Um, both the McLarens did not start, and that's notable, for different mechanical issues. And then also Gabriel Bortoleto from Audi and Alex Albon from Williams, they did not start. So four there was only 18 drivers that started, and one of them immediately went out after that. There was 5 like basically didn't complete a lap. So
Right.
you only had 17 drivers right off the bat. And it has been so far this year, and I like the fact that Kimi Antonelli won. I would like to see that be. Is that going to become the race now? Is it going to be just like it was last year between Piastri and Norris, between Russell and Antonelli? I would like to see that. And then also the
Well, it
young,
sure seems that way, doesn't it?
yeah, the young guys. I mean, Ollie Behrman, 5th. Pierre Gasly, who I thought was dead and buried a couple years ago. Pierre Gasly has been better this year. You've watched him be in the
Yeah.
top 10. He was 6th in this race. Liam Lawson, 7th. Isaac Hadjar, 8th. Franco Colapinto, 10th. People scoring points that last year.
It has helped that Oscar and Lando and Max all didn't start or finish the race.
That's true.
Those are 3 places that probably would have been up in there that shoved those guys out of the points.
Yeah, and so far it's clear that it's Mercedes, and then Ferrari,
Yeah.
and then everyone else. You can throw just a blanket around everybody else, and you go, anybody could finish 5th.
Anyone.
Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't like I mean Liam Lawson's actually having an okay year
Yeah,
to start. So
yeah,
I'll say Haas is the most impressive team so far in that they look like they've taken the biggest step forward from last year.
right.
Because Mercedes was good last year. You know, Red Bull looks like they've taken the largest step back. Well, no, that's not true. McLaren technically, because they've had one of 4 potential driver places. I mean, 2 Oscar hasn't done either race, and Lando quit one or wasn't able to start one, so they've only finished 1 of 4 potential race finishes.
And a double.
So
yeah, a double did not start
But-
is not good.
it's strange, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that all last year, where 2 people from the same team didn't start.
Yeah. Well,
That's a little unheard of. But,
this many. I mean, there's 22 cars now, right? But 5 of them don't even complete a lap. They don't even come out. That's the most I've ever seen. And we've been watching it since what 2020 or so. So about 6 years. That's kind
it's
of
crazy. They added 2 more cars just to have 4 cars a race not go.
it's kind of weird. But yeah, I like the fact that we've got the young guys doing. Ollie Behrman won't be on Haas very long. Someone's going to pick him up because he's a good driver. You can just see it. But
Yeah.
but the best drivers in the world right now are British. Let's be fair. George Russell and Lando Norris and Ollie Behrman, and you see a lot of British. Lewis Hamilton still, right? Who I
Yeah.
like the fact that he's back being a factor, right? He's there. He's at least in the mix. Podium finishes or not, but he's there. He's at least, last year was a bad year for him. And I a few years ago I wouldn't have said that probably. I wouldn't have said I was happy for Lewis Hamilton, but I'm really happy that Lewis Hamilton is a factor again. Not that I want him to win, but winning, being competitive. I want everybody to be competitive. Let's be fair. That makes it better racing, right? Is you want all of these guys to have a chance to win. Just makes a better product. So yeah, certain guys aren't going to win. You know that the Aston Martin team is got a 40-year-old driver and then Lance Stroll, who's daddy's boy, and he doesn't. Come on, they need to start over.
Well, but even beyond all of the guys that don't matter, that haven't mattered, that still don't matter, you need to see Max and Lando and Oscar back in this thing. Otherwise, it's going to be Red Bull and not Red Bull, but Mercedes and Ferrari just running away with this.
When do the upgrades start? Because that's what happens, right?
They've already started. There's a bunch of people that there's already started. A bunch of people got getting them for this upcoming weekend in Japan.
It could be great.
So yeah. It should be. I mean, but there's an investigation currently happening into Mercedes. So about how they're using their power unit. So there's some questions about, oh, so that's what it is. So their power unit that they got, they're supposed to give all of the information about their power units to anyone else that is using the same power units, but they're withholding a ton of information. So teams like McLaren, who use Mercedes power units, don't have the information from them, so they can't, like, they don't know. But like last year, McLaren had to share that same information with Mercedes. So there's some things like that that are happening that are causing them to be investigated as to, like, why are they not giving out this information?
So
What are they doing?
yeah.
Yeah, because all the teams are supposed, all the power units amongst the manufacturer are all made to meet certain F1 specs, and they're supposed to be shared in their entirety with all the other teams that use that power unit.
So you'll have a
So
so this starting tomorrow will be practice for the Japanese Grand Prix, and then the race is actually Saturday night, March 28th, 10 p.m. It's on Apple TV, 10 p.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock your time. I don't know if you'll probably, you guys have a buy, so you might be able to stay up. Yeah, we're gonna record it and watch it in
I'm
the morning.
I'm
Who am I
staying up.
fooling?
I'm staying up to watch it.
I
So
won't do that. I won't do that. I'm not that dedicated, but that starts on that's going to be on Sunday or Saturday. Sorry, Saturday night at Suzuka International Racing Course. Anyway, um, the next two races after that have been canceled. So
yeah,
we've got
nice big
3,
gap.
4, 5 weeks off. I mean, there
Yeah,
would have been a bye week after Japan to get to Bahrain, so there's 2 weeks, and then the next week that have been at Saudi Arabia. That's 3 weeks, and then there would have been 2 more weeks before Miami. So they're gonna have a 5 week blank spot before they go to Miami on May the 1st after Japan. So if you're a Formula One fan, it's kind of slow to start, and with two less races, points are going to be at a premium. I mean, that's going to make it. You need to get out there, and that falls on McLaren and Max Verstappen and getting out there and getting points. They gotta do something because there's two less races
yeah.
to do it in. Anyway,
Depending what else happens this year, they could cancel. There's two more Middle East races, right,
yeah,
towards the end of the
at,
year.
at the end of the year, yeah.
So
So
they could cancel both of those too.
Abu Dhabi and Qatar, they could cancel both of those fairly easily.
Yeah.
Maybe Baku in Azerbaijan is it's a little further away, but it'd be interesting. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean they've canceled races before. They canceled races during COVID. That was the last time they canceled any races. But
Last time they canceled a race was 23. Was Emilia Romagna, was for flooding.
yeah, flooding. Yeah, it was natural disaster stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the last. Before that, it was COVID. Yeah.
COVID. Yeah. So anyway, it's interesting to watch. I still love Formula One. I think it's great. The new cars I'm not sold on, but it does the interesting. It makes the races have been more interesting. There's been more competitive as we go, but it still looks like Mercedes is by far the best. I don't know if that's the car. It's got to be the cars. You can't tell me Kimi Antonelli's the best driver in Formula One, but he did win the race. He has a really good car.
Their
He is a
cars
good
are
driver.
rocket ships.
Exactly. So, if you put a different guy in that same car, there's a good chance he would do just as well. But yeah,
Or like, see, but that's where I feel like you put Ollie Bierman in that car, and he's still a top five finisher every race. Whether or not you're winning races, like, there's a certain amount of grit and edge you have to win races. Like, you have to go wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton. You have to go
yeah,
wheel to wheel with Charles Leclerc.
Max
Like,
Verstappen.
you got to do some stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's another element to, like, winning races and podium, but like the car itself should take you, the way I'm to see it over the years is the car should take you about 75% of the way. You're that
right.
last little 25% that is edge and grit and makes some decisions and things like that. But the car should be good enough to get you a top five while being barely competent.
Yeah,
Everything else from there is all on you, which only explains that Aston Martin does not have a good car
no.
and does not have good drivers.
Yeah, Aston Martin's a trouble,
Poor
a problem
Fernando.
spot. They used to be middle pack, midfield, but they're not so much now. Anyway,
I like the new cars. I like that they're causing chaos. Like, it's fun for the sport, although it's not. If Mercedes wins one more, it won't seem like chaos anymore. It'll seem like two teams figured it out and
right.
nobody else did.
And nobody else did. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the National Lacrosse League. The Colorado Mammoth and the Calgary Roughnecks played on Saturday night, and it was a very physical um, game. There was
Was
yeah, a couple of major penalties. Um, there was some good play. Let me just say that there was some really good plays. There were some good shots that I watched. Some good shooting. There was a lot of saves. Dylan Ward had 48 saves for Colorado. By the way, he was fantastic. Honestly, in the goal, there was a lot of shots coming his way. 60 shots, right? Because 12 of them went in and 48 he saved. So there were 60 shots that were just went on target. Not to mention the other shots that were nearby, right?
right.
So Andrew Q with his second sock trick of the season. And by the way, for those of you who don't know what a sock trick is, it's 6 goals in one game. And he had 4 assists to go with it for 10 points. Tyler Pace for Calgary had 5 goals and 4 assists. The 14-12 win Saturday night kept them in third place, which after their 2-game losing streak, they fell a spot. But they secured a playoff spot with the win. They're only a game back of Saskatchewan. And that's right around the corner, right? 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This is a bye week, and then yeah, so that's coming. Huge game. It's going to be a huge lacrosse game, and could be for the league title. I mean, the number 1 seed anyway.
It could. It's definitely shaking up to be like, because we're already in the process of planning for like our postseason and like our scheduling and things like that. It's like we can't do anything until after that game. Because even if the Mammoth drop the next game to the Las Vegas, which I hope we don't, but even
Right.
if we do, that doesn't answer any seeding questions until after we get past Sask.
Yeah.
So like everyone's postseason is just kind of sitting and waiting on a handful of games that are all coming in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and that'll determine quite a bit. So hopefully it does well.
Yeah, it's gonna be great though. It's been exciting to watch. I saw my first penalty shot in this game, which I didn't know was a thing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that
That's
was
right.
really kind of weird. And then I mean, it's just like a hockey penalty shot. It's the same. I mean, you take the puck,
Right.
you roll down the ice, and you shoot. I don't. It concerned me that Dylan Ward didn't move much. Like he didn't come out and try and make a move and try and go to the edge of the crease or something and make him go around or make him make a shot. I know it's hard to do as a goalie, but he kind of just stood there and waited for him to come. I don't know. I don't know what the I don't know.
Those pads are really difficult to move in.
I'm sure they are. They look like it. They're huge. So anyway, yeah. That.
By the way, I got clarity on the power play situation that we talked about the other day on the phone. So apparently, you can only score 2 goals on a power play, and then the other team gets their person back. Gets a person back.
Right.
And so if it's a major, they'll put it in somebody else. So that person has to stay in the box until their major plus dead ball happens. But they can start playing 5 again. So when Jack committed his penalty was after we had scored our first 2. And then they were able to now be on the power play at 5-on-4.
Gotcha.
Even though they still had a guy in the box.
That's
so
Jack Hanna, in case you weren't paying attention. But
yeah. Jack Hanna, yeah. And
I
so
mean,
that's to prevent people from going on the power play and scoring 7 goals.
Agreed. Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, I understand. Yeah, because if you had a guy in the box for 5 minutes, it's you could. I mean, if you're 5-on-4 for 5 minutes,
we
holy
scored
moly.
2 in 32 seconds.
Yeah.
And if they don't get another guy back out, that could be 3 or 4 in the next 32 seconds. So
yeah, no, I figured it was something like that. I knew that they had to stay in the box. The guy with the major, you have to stay in for the whole 5 minutes until the next chance to come in. But I assumed that they were putting a different guy in for him. Yeah. So that guy, you're still at the loss of the services of that player, but you could put another guy in to replace him. And then the penalty on Hannah was deserved. Is that right? Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah. I was talking with him today at camp, and I was telling him what Mom said about like, oh, he didn't hit him in the face. It was more like his neck. And Jack started laughing, and I was like, Ma, that's a penalty either way.
Yeah,
he thought that was funny. Yeah. He was like, I wasn't trying to hit him in the face. I wasn't trying to hit him in the neck. I was trying to hit him in the face.
Was he trying to hit him in the face?
He was trying to hit him in the face. Well, he was trying to give him the business.
It looked like, for all the world, like he was just trying to hit him like in the chest shoulder area. But he went high and got him in the neck. That's kind of what it looked like to me. I didn't think he was trying to hit him in the face. I thought he was trying to just pop him, like, stop it, get off of me, because the other guy had just hit him, right? Kind of had been
Yeah.
hitting him repeatedly. So I thought it was just
He
one of those.
swears though it was a bit of a dive, and I was like, dude, we've
Yeah.
seen the footage. Like you got him. Like
Yeah.
either that's
Yeah.
an Academy Award winning acting job, or you got him pretty good.
Yeah, you could tell in the replay that he hit him in the throat, and I was like, oh,
I think the acting job was that he stayed on the ground for
oh,
4 minutes or
yeah,
whatever.
I know there was contact, and I know it hurt. All right, I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna give him that. But maybe he embellished after that. Like, it didn't hurt as much as, you know what I mean? It was one of those soccer kicks where they kick them and they got them, or they stepped on their foot, and yeah, that had to hurt a cleat going to the top of your foot. But it isn't like you shouldn't be rolling on the ground like you got to amputate my foot kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, soccer's the worst about that.
I don't know. These lacrosse games are kind of like that. I've seen a couple. Anyway, so there's your standings, your current NLL standings for 25-26. And Vancouver's thrown in the mix, right? Vancouver could still be the number one
Yeah,
seed
where the
in this
hell
whole
did,
thing,
hell did they come
right?
from? Georgia could still be the number one seed
Georgia
in
and
this whole
Toronto are
mix.
only half a game behind you guys in Colorado. They're only a half game back. They've played one less game, so if they get a win, if each of them get a win in their next games or catch up, you know what I mean, in the bye week, you could have a three-way tie for third.
We don't have the tiebreaker against Georgia or Toronto because they were split 1-1 both, but we have the points tiebreaker against Georgia, but not Toronto because we kicked the crap out of Georgia the second time we went saw them down in Georgia.
Okay.
And the first game that we had against them was so low scoring
Yeah, it was.
that it doesn't help that points accumulation because that's what it is. It's most goals is the next tiebreaker
gotcha.
when you have the that sort of thing. But Toronto, we do not have that on. So if for some reason we were to catch Toronto were to catch up with us, we'd be under and they'd jump in front of us. So
you probably
but Toronto still has another game against Sask, which is Sask's remaining schedule
is rough.
is Buffalo this weekend, us, and then Toronto. So they play 3 of the top 6 teams. I think 6. I think that sounds right. Yeah, because I think Buffalo's in 6. They play 3 of the top 6 teams, and everyone that they play has 8 wins or more. So they don't have an easy schedule, and they've dropped 3 of their last 4.
Right.
So Sask is kind of reeling. There's a chance that they could lose 3 games in a row, be 11-7 in the season, and fall to like 4th or even 5th.
I mean,
like it'd take a lot, but they could.
It's possible.
It's possible. Yeah.
It's. I will say this: they do play at home, and then they have a bye.
They got the bye before us, which sucks.
And then they play at home against you guys, and then the last weekend of the season, they play at home. Look at that. So they play 3 home games.
Yeah.
They've got 3 home games and a bye over the next 4 weeks. Woo!
Yeah. And Toronto has 4 games left. So Toronto plays Philly. They're already out of the playoffs. In theory, should be an easy win. Then they play San Diego. San Diego's fighting for their life. So there's some there, but that's a home game for Toronto. Then they play at Ottawa, which Ottawa's kind of they're in, but they're on the fringe. They could be out any minute,
right?
Whatever. And then they play Sask. So they have a chance to get 4 games here. And go and get up as high as 13 wins. That's why I'm saying like Sask could drop to 5th. I think 5th is the farthest they could drop with the remaining games. If Toronto, Georgia, and us all keep winning, and Vancouver I think doesn't have anything crazy in there either. Yeah, so if all 4 of us keep winning, Sask could drop all the way to 5th.
Last week of the season is Toronto at Saskatchewan.
At Sask. Yeah, that's gonna be a big game.
Yeah. None of the other games are really. I mean, San Diego and Las Vegas are playing. They have similar records, but everybody else is kind of a mismatch in terms of the games, the games during that final week. But Toronto and I didn't look at who's playing on Sunday. The last game of the season, that's Georgia at the Nighthawks, and then Friday. Yeah, Friday is. Oh, they play back to back. Friday and Saturday. So Las Vegas plays at San Diego Friday, and then they play in Las Vegas on Saturday, back to back.
Oh, bummer.
They
Las
play
Vegas
each
has
other.
their back-to-back at the end of the season.
Yeah, they play it the last weekend of the season.
The same guy who owns Las Vegas owns San Diego. It's the same ownership.
So he doesn't care who wins this game. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
Eh,
he cares because
wants both of them to win. Split.
both of his teams are potential playoff teams. Las Vegas has an uphill battle, and they gotta go through us, and they obviously have to go through San Diego, but they're right there. They're at six
They're right there,
wins.
right there.
It could
You're right.
happen.
It could
It could
happen.
happen.
Let's
I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know what in 4 weeks. I don't know if I'm going on the road or I'm going to be at home. I don't know.
So
It's tough.
let's talk about the NCAA tournament March Madness right off. We haven't covered it at all really, but it hasn't been as mad as I would like it to be. Uh, there is 111. So we're in the Sweet 16. In theory, if everything goes well, you'd have the top 4 seeds in each region would reach this round, right? If all the favored teams
Right.
won. We have 111 seed left, and that's Texas playing Purdue. And that's
And Texas looks good.
Texas does look pretty good. But I mean,
They
also,
look really good.
you know, they beat a Gonzaga team that overachieves during the regular season, and then and BYU. But 11 seeds that's a tough out. 11 seed is a tough out for some reason. I don't know why that is, but they traditionally have been more difficult. But Texas is the highest ranked seed left. After that, it's Iowa playing at Nebraska. They're a 9 seed. Um, and
Oh,
then
somebody needs to come up with a good name for that, like the corn bowl or something like that. The
yeah,
corn.
something
Yeah,
like
there
that.
needs to be a good name for that. Yeah.
They played twice
I'm
this
gonna see if somebody has.
They've played twice this year already. Nebraska has won them both. Nebraska's having their best year ever. Their first ever NCAA tournament win. They were the last high major, as they refer to them, team that had never won an NCAA tournament game, and now they've won. They've
Interesting.
won two in a week, or in 3 days, basically, with a win over Troy in the first round and Vanderbilt in the second round. And now they have a pretty
Oh,
good chance.
somebody called it the sweet corn game, like Sweet 16 corn. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
it feels like a stretch. It doesn't roll off the tongue,
it
but it's
doesn't just
good.
roll off the tongue. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And then Iowa is the only team to knock off a number one. So there's that, right? Iowa beat defending champion
Yeah.
Florida, so there's going to be a new champion this year. Um, the
How exciting.
the Big Ten has 7 teams in the Sweet 16. No, sorry, 6 teams in the Sweet 16. They would have had
Yeah.
7 had UCLA won, but UCLA got thumped by UConn. But 6 teams in the Sweet 16. The last time the Big Ten won the national championship was in 2000. So it's been 20 something years.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, weird, right? So it's been a long time since they won. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting thing too. When I read it, I was like, "That's
That is
really been
cool.
that long?"
Yeah.
But the SEC has 4 teams in it. The Big 12 has 3. The Big East has 2, and the ACC has just Duke. The ACC used to be the power, the basketball power in the NCAA, and North Carolina State, North Carolina, all those teams, Wake Forest, right? These teams have all won national championships.
Yeah.
But Duke is the only consistent one, and they're playing St. John's in the next round. So you have
The question is how many blue bloods are left, right?
well,
It's
Duke
like
and
Duke,
Arizona,
Arizona.
Michigan
Yeah.
State and UConn both. I would call them both blue bloods.
Yeah.
Um,
Michigan.
Michigan is in there, and then
Yeah.
that's about it.
That's about it. So you got 5 blue bloods left,
Yeah.
and 2 of them have to play each other. So you will have
Well,
at most 4 left.
well, I laugh because there's 6 Big Ten teams left in the Sweet 16, right? 3 of them are in one region. Iowa, Nebraska, and
Yeah.
Illinois are all in the same region, so only one of them can reach the Final Four.
They all got to crush each other. Yep.
Yeah, so but none of them are the higher seed. Houston might be the team that comes out of that South region. But anyway, Tennessee plays Iowa State, Illinois, Houston, Iowa, Nebraska, Michigan, Alabama, Purdue and Texas, Arizona, Arkansas, Duke, St. John's, and Michigan State, UConn. That might be the best game, honestly, if you're looking at all these and trying to figure out what game do I watch. Iowa, Nebraska is going to be good, but I feel like Michigan State and UConn, 2 teams that are used to winning, that's going to be a really good game.
I think Illinois Houston's gonna be the best game because Illinois is like up tempo,
Yeah.
run and gun. Like they're fast, and Houston's a lot slower. I like when two teams who don't play the same play each other because one team has to cave at some point. And it's fun to watch that happen in real time. A team go, all right, we have to play up tempo, and whether or not they can. Like
Houston,
watching Duke get pushed to their limits and start to run is fun.
yeah, Houston is the better team defensively than
Yeah.
Illinois, so that may be what propels them. I mean, Houston gave up what 47 to Idaho and 57 to Texas A&M. Um, that's not very many not very many points. 104 in 52 points a game. If you're giving up 52 points a game, you win a lot of NCAA basketball games. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got these teams like Michigan who's averaging what 97 points a game, 97 and a half, 98. It's 98. They're averaging 98
That's
points
crazy.
in their first two games. Yeah.
Michigan's good, man.
Illinois is averaging. They've got 181, so they're averaging 90 points a game in their first two games. Um, yeah, there's a lot of offense out there. Iowa State,
But Arizona looks really good.
Arizona looks really good. They're a good defensive team as
Really
well.
good.
They can throttle
Yeah.
you. They struggled a little bit against Utah State, but then just pulled away. That's an interesting. I mean, the biggest upset so far was the High Point, right? High Point beat Wisconsin. That was a 12 seed by 1 point in the
Yeah.
first round, and then got beat. They played well against Arkansas, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well
mean,
enough.
yeah, well enough. Just not, they just weren't quite good enough. Yeah, there's been a lot of good games. It's just not. I haven't seen a whole. There wasn't a whole lot of upsets. Pretty much went according to seed for the most part. There was 5 or 6.
According to script.
Yeah, according to script. Yeah, Tennessee's somewhere where they probably shouldn't be. Right, they got in there. They snuck in there, and then there was Texas. They got in there where they probably shouldn't be. Iowa with a win over a 1 seed. That's the biggest win probably in the tournament so far. Let's be fair.
Well,
Iowa beat.
no, Iowa over Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a big deal. Florida scored 114 in the first.
It's the most significant win.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure there was a lot of money bet on Florida to win this thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even more money poured in after, like you said, they put 114 on Prairie View.
114,
So
yeah, 114 points in the first round. It doesn't matter who you're playing. That's a lot of points.
I just think there were a couple teams in this tournament that were seeded incorrectly. I think Tennessee was seeded too low or too high. I think they probably are a 5 or a 4. I think that Texas was clearly given a bad deal, right?
Yeah,
And put
maybe.
it 11. And like they played in the playing game, I think, right? Yeah, they played in the playing game at 11. And it's like this is probably like a 9, 8, 7 seed, but you got them at 11 just because the Big 12 had some weird stuff going on this year.
Yep.
Gonzaga fell overseeded. They didn't exactly wow me against Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
And then they definitely did against Texas. I don't know. There was just some weird seeding choices this year. There's some obvious ones that made sense, but there were some weird ones too.
And I'll say this: Texas was 9-9 in the SEC, which okay, 500, right? 21-14. They lost 14 games. That's
in conference.
That's okay. I mean, it's and they played a play-in game against NC State that they barely won, 68-66.
Yeah.
I mean, so they struggled to get there, and then all of a sudden, okay, well, we can beat BYU, we can beat Gonzaga. Can they beat Purdue? I don't know. Purdue is deep. They got a lot of players there. That's a tough out. But I don't know. It's been interesting.
Well, like Kentucky got a 7 seed with one more conference win.
It's got to be who they beat, right?
With one more, right? And I think that's part of it. Is I think Texas was 9-9, but like even just like looking around, like all these teams, like in the SEC, Tennessee had only 2 more wins than Texas. It's just strange that they got such a low seeding. But you're right, they did struggle with NC State. Like can't argue that.
In the regular season, though, I mean, this is just Texas lost to Duke, right? Texas lost to UConn. Texas lost to Tennessee.
Okay.
They lost to Florida. They lost to Arkansas. They lost. I mean, so all of those are the only teams that they beat Georgia, who's a ranked team.
They lost to 3 number 1 seeds, a 4 and a 6.
Yeah.
No shit. I wasn't making the case that they should be a 4. I was making the case that they should be a 7 or an 8. I felt like 11 was too low.
They lost,
and that kind of tracks.
They lost to Virginia, who's a 3 seed, right, by 19. They lost to Duke by 15. They lost to. Yeah. I mean, they weren't just losses. They got lost to Tennessee by 14. They weren't really competitive in any of those games. They weren't. They did have a couple of wins. They beat Alabama. They beat Vanderbilt. They beat Georgia in conference. All of their good wins are in conference. They
Yeah.
beat NC State earlier. They actually played NC State earlier this year.
And then they made him play him again.
Then they made them play them again. What are you doing? Anyway, I just there's seeding things, and I know they take a lot of stuff into consideration. But who did you beat, right? How bad did you win? Where was the game? Did you play on the road? Did you play at home?
Yeah.
I mean, those are super important factors. How did you do in your conference? How good is your conference, right? Because if I finish 9-9 in a really good conference, that's better than me finishing 12-6 in a crappy conference, right? So
Right.
we're willing to cut you some slack for losing some of those games. But did you beat anybody in your conference that you probably shouldn't have? That would lead me to believe you're better than your 9-9 record in the conference. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Texas was pretty okay. They look better now. I mean, now you can say after they've won 3 games, okay, well they are clearly better. But we're going to find out a lot more about them tomorrow at
Very
4:10
soon.
p.m.
Yep.
on CBS. Purdue's a 7.5 point favorite. So
By the
Arizona's
way,
a
how's your
7.5.
bracket?
I didn't even fill one out this year. I'll be fair. I didn't even fill one out.
What?
Nope. Had I filled one out, I would have picked Michigan. By the way, just FYI.
That's not a bad call. I picked Purdue in mine.
Purdue's
And
a
I'm
good.
in the
Purdue's a good pick.
58th percentile. Fun fact.
50. Yeah, 58. I get that.
It's not
That
not the
happens a
best
lot.
place I've ever been, but
Because you picked more upsets, didn't you?
Austin's wife Mia is in the 97th percentile.
Did she? Oh, so she went with favorites. See, if you pick,
She's
go ahead.
She made a chalky bracket.
Yeah, if you picked more upsets this year, then you're out because there weren't that many. I mean, it's tough. And then if you went with the seeding, you're doing quite well actually. I mean, you're
Well, what hosed me into the Sweet 16 is Florida and UCLA. I picked UCLA to make a run in and then make even to the Elite Eight.
Gotcha.
And I picked Florida to do the same thing. So like my Elite Eight is -2 people already.
Yeah,
So that kind of sucks.
that happens. Yeah, I just didn't.
But
do
everyone
one
else,
this year.
everyone else is intact.
I didn't do one this year. I would. At this point, I'm looking at the teams that are here, and I was like, man, I'd probably be about where you are. And there would have been,
right.
yeah, but I would have picked Michigan. So they're still in there. I would have said my final four probably would have been Michigan, Arizona. I probably would have picked Illinois. Houston. I don't know. Shit. One of those two teams. I wouldn't have picked Florida. And then the other one. It would have been Duke. It probably would have been Duke. That's just,
Duke or Michigan State.
Duke or Michigan State. UConn's still, UConn's a good basketball team. You can't bet against UConn, can you? But I can't bet against Michigan State. Those are really good teams. I mean, if Kansas had beat St. John's, I would be saying the same thing. Kansas can beat Duke, right? Kansas didn't look as good here in these 2 games, but yeah, that's a whole different thing. Anyway, I like watching the tournament. I don't like watching regular season games that much, but the NCAA tournament is, great for really good basketball. I would like to see some of these games be really, really close, and hopefully when the ones that I tune into, starting tomorrow night, will be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Illinois Houston is 7:05 p.m. on TBS or True TV tomorrow night if you want to watch it. And then the early game 4:30 Iowa Nebraska. You'll have that's going to be a good game. Texas and Purdue starts at 4:10 on CBS, and Arizona Arkansas is at 6:45 on CBS. So there's going to be some good basketball. I will bet you that you're right. Illinois Houston or Michigan State UConn. Those will be great. UConn's the favorite by 1.5 points, and I don't know about that. I think Michigan State's
feels bold, yeah.
Yeah, I think Michigan State they handled UCLA pretty good, but I feel like Michigan State's playing really good basketball. If I had a dark horse, if I was going to throw it in there, Michigan State would be the team to win the whole thing.
Michigan State as a dark horse, as a 3 seed.
As a 3 seed, that's as far back as I'll go. Yeah, because I don't think any of the other teams, I'm not picking Iowa.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll know more tomorrow. We'll know more tomorrow. All right. What else we got to talk about? Free agency, NFL free agency. You want to talk about Jalen Waddle becoming a Denver Bronco?
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm also nervous. Yeah. I like Jalen Waddle. I like what he brings. I'm nervous that he was a system product that got a lot of good yardage just because that system was insane when it was clicking. I'm a little worried about that. I'm also a little worried about what he takes away from Marvin Mims
Yeah.
because I like what Mims brings, and if that affects Marvin Mims' mentality, like does he stop playing as hard because he's not getting as many touches and things like that? But him opposite court, I'm on board with. It'll be fine.
Jalen Waddle had 64 catches last year. In
Yeah.
16 games, he missed a game. On 100 targets, 910 yards. He averages 14.2 yards a catch, which is a little higher than his career average. He did have 6 touchdown catches. His long was 46. That's the shortest long of his career. Not,
Yikes.
not, not that that matters. But yeah. So, this when he was a rookie in 21, he had 104 catches, 1,000 yards, right? So that's where we're trying. That's where we're coming from. Since then, 75, 72, 58, 64 catches. That's where he's at. So I think if you're expecting him to get more than 70 catches, you're probably wrong. But as a number, what's he going to be in Denver? Number 2?
He's the two.
He's the
Well,
2.
I think he starts as the two.
Okay.
Maybe moves to the one if he starts producing well, and then they use Court kind of off of him. It's
Right.
hard. It's hard to say because they're not the same. So to
Well,
say they're say that they're 1 and 2, like I think he's your primary read, but the way Sean Payton tends to run his offense, although it's Davis Webb's offense now, the way Sean Payton historically has run his offense is out of the backfield first and then upfield, and
right.
so it's hard to say. But they also might use Jalen Waddle out of the backfield again, messing with Marvin Mims's carries and things like that. But we'll see.
He,
So I don't know. I would say he's gonna be the two though.
he averages about 3 carries a year, by the way, 3 rushing
Yeah.
carries.
Oh, he's gonna get more backfield touches
um,
this year than he can hope for.
I think the majority of this is going to depend on how well Bo Nix and him gel, right?
Well, for sure.
Because you get comfortable with the guy. You can see Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton on the same page. When
Yeah.
when you watch the games, you see that happen. And then if Jalen Waddle can if those two can have a chemistry and he knows when he's going to break and knows when he's going to burst, if you know those things, then that makes it a lot easier to complete passes, right? And if you had two guys, he's only going to help, right? He's only going to help. I don't think this is going to hurt the team in any way. He can only help. More weapons, more targets, offensively, and it's a team that as Bo Nix gets more experience, they're going to get more comfortable with him throwing the football, right? Not that they aren't now, but I'm just saying you're just going to get more and more. He's going to get more and more comfortable as he's got more targets he can rely on. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
that'll help. But yeah,
We'll see how it goes.
we'll see how it goes. And by the way, they're not just getting Jalen Waddle; they're getting a 4th-round pick. And then they had to give up though a 1st, a 3rd, and a 4th this year's draft. So I don't know. Is it worth it? That's the question. A 1st round, a 3rd round, and then you swapped 4th-round picks and you get Jalen Waddle. That's a bit to me. I don't know. I don't know what it's worth. Is a number 1 pick? What's a number 1 pick worth anymore? Right? I guess it depends on when it is in the 1st round, right? Did I lose you? I think I lost him. This happens, occasionally. What are you going to do? Uh-oh, just got a message. So now something's happening. Let's go find out. Of course, I can't just open anything up because that would make it too easy. Uh-oh. Parker's going to be back in just a minute. Anyway, the question is, what becomes a great trade, right? It will be a good pickup is did you give up too much? Did you, is it going to hurt you? You're losing 3 draft picks this year. I mean, that's significant, but there are in a limited window in terms of winning right now. Once your quarterback gets to a certain level and your defense is a certain level, how long can you hold them together? You can't hold them together 5-6 years. You've got to win right now. So hopefully they can figure that all out. But in addition to Jalen Waddle, you also had Justin Fields heading from the Jets to Kansas City. New York's giving up a 2027 6th-round pick, and then they're going to pay $7 million of Fields' $10 million that he's owed. The Kansas City is going to pay $7 million of the Fields' $10 million. So they get Justin Fields They have to pay $7 million, a one-time thing, and they also are going to get a 27 sixth round, or they gave up a 27 sixth round pick from Kansas City to get Justin Fields. Is he going to be? I mean, is he? Is it? There's obviously injury issues with Patrick Mahomes now, and you got to wonder how healthy he's going to be. Is he going to be able to play a full season? What's going to happen? So getting a backup was a priority. I understand a competent backup. Justin Fields, I don't know. Is he the guy that you wanted? That's a great question. We won't know until we see what happens. Speaking of Kansas City, Marquise Brown is headed to Philadelphia on a 1 year, $6.5 million deal. Kansas City's losing him, the free agent, to the Eagles. And I don't know, of all the teams you want to lose a talent, is it the Eagles? But they didn't have much choice in the matter, considering it's a free agent move. Kyler Murray is going to be a Minnesota Viking. I $1.3 million 1 year contract. That's a pretty good deal to get a quarterback. I don't know how good Kyler Murray still is. I don't know what he can do because we've only watched him play in Arizona, and Arizona hasn't exactly been, what's the term, competitive. Hasn't been great. So I don't know exactly how good he is anymore, but having a backup quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, is he going to be the backup or is he going to be the starter? Because J.J. McCarthy can only play so long. He got hurt. What's going to happen there in Minnesota? That's a great question. Kyler Murray is mobile. He is, I mean, you watched him scramble. You've seen the videos. He's an amazing talent when it comes to extending a play. I don't think his arm, his decision-making ability, and his arm strength are so good that he's an NFL quarterback in that particular realm. But I think extending plays and making things happen, if you like chaos, he's probably your guy. 1.3 million is nothing for a quarterback, though, as a backup insurance kind of a deal. And if he starts the season, he might start the season depending upon what happens. Michael Pittman headed from Indianapolis to Pittsburgh.
Quick take on Kyler Murray.
Oh, go ahead, go.
I'm not sure if that's going to be a great call for him.
Oh, go ahead.
Or for the Vikings. I just don't see that fit. It doesn't make sense in my head. Like I don't see what's it called? Kevin O'Connell. O'Connell? Is that his name? O'Connell? The coach? I feel like it's Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah,
but then now it
right.
sounds like the Home Alone person. No, that's McAllister. That's what it is.
Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, I feel like their systems don't look the same. And what you're going to ask of him to do, the type of scrambling and rolling and things like that, it kind of feels like they just went, well, I guess we'll take that guy. Like he's available, just take him. And I feel like that's how that kind of came out. And then I think they're going to draft somebody else next year. I think McCarthy's a bust. I think they're just doing this to hold over. I think they're going to draft somebody else.
So in 2025, Kyler Murray only played in 5 games. Yeah. Still 68.3 completion percentage, which is higher than his career average. The last full season last year in 2024, he had a 68.8% completion percentage, 3,800 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not terrible, right? A rating of 93 and a half.
Not at all.
Not bad at all. He's not a bad quarterback. He does make some weird decisions, and when he gets under duress, but he also is capable, like I was saying earlier, extending a play. I don't know if there's many people better at it than him. He runs all crazy around the field, and you've seen him run for a touchdown after scrambling for like 30 seconds, right? And there's not many players that can do that, that are that quick.
It is true, yeah.
Yeah,
he does offer that dynamic thing, but
for a guy,
how often has that dynamicism? How often has that resulted in wins?
Is that an actual word? So yeah,
I don't know.
It might be. Anyways, but his rushing yards, this is what gets me. He ran for 800 yards in 2020, his second year in the league, right? 6.2 yards a carry, 11 touchdowns. And then I don't know if it was injury, or I don't know if they were afraid of him getting injured, or I don't know what happened, but he's not running the football like that anymore. 400 yards, that's still pretty good for a quarterback. But the last full season, 2024, 572 yards, 78 carries. That's still 7.3 a carry. I think he should run more. I think you should just get him out and let him run. I mean,
get him into some space.
Yeah, RPO all the time, and just hey, take it and run if you can. He's small. He's harder to hit, right? Because he's little. So you don't take as many direct shots. But he's also might be more fragile. So there's that. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel
also the word is dynamism, not
Dynam
dynamicism.
dynamism.
Dynamicism.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't even.
dynamism.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Here's an interesting. By the way, an interesting. Here's your interesting stat or note. If you're on ESPN and you're looking up a player and you go to their stats, right? Regular season stats, right? I'm looking at Kyler Murray's right now. Here's passing, there's rushing, there's receiving, right? And by the way, according to this, in 2021, he had no receptions, no targets for 7 yards as a receiver.
No,
Don't know how that
no,
happens. You have to actually catch
no
the pass.
receptions.
No receptions for 7 yards. And then it has some defense, right? Because if you throw an interception, you make a tackle or whatever. He's got 3 tackles, career tackles. Okay. And it's got scoring. And then it has kicking stats for him. He's never kicked a ball. But they got all zeros up there. But they list it. Like 2022, 23, 24. It's all listed as zeros. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. Why would you even put it on here? If he has never kicked a thing, why would you even give him kicking stats? He doesn't have any. Just so there you go.
Oh, okay. So here it is. The way you get yards with 0 receptions is on a passing play that has a lateral.
You get
So
receiving yards?
So yeah, that's how you get receiving yards. Yeah.
Huh.
So if they throw the ball downfield, somebody catches it, and somehow you end up getting it back. Think end of game, everyone's lateraling it to one another. You get it back on a lateral, and you get some yardage. You don't get a reception, but you do get the yardage.
That's weird. Well,
that's interesting.
He has 7 yards on no catches in his career. Anyway, all right.
Good for him.
So Michael Pittman, we were just talking about, is headed to Pittsburgh, right? They're going to exchange draft picks also. So Pittsburgh giving up a 6th round and Indianapolis giving up a 7th round pick. But he's going to be paired with DK Metcalf, right? And Michael Pittman, if you look at his career numbers, his average per catch is somewhere in the 9 range, right? It's not a huge. He's not Marquise Brown.
He's an underneath guy.
He's an underneath guy. And guess who throws a lot of underneath balls? That's Aaron Rodgers, right?
He does like an underneath guy.
Yep. So this might be a perfect fit in Pittsburgh. You get a guy who can catch underneath. You get you've got a deeper threat, a big, taller, more prototype number one receiver in Metcalf.
DK,
yeah. This might work out for Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how much longer he's planning on playing football, but it might be a good thing. So anyway,
interesting,
right?
I didn't even think about it like that. I just when he signed there, I immediately went, he's going to go into the train wreck. Hope you enjoy barely missing the playoffs or making them.
I think I think he might get a lot of targets. I think that's coming his way. Couple other things that we're talking about in the NFL while we're talking about the NFL. The Cleveland Browns, by the way, are proposing a change in the draft picks that you can use in a trade. So they're trying to make it. So right now, 3 years out is all farther out you can trade draft picks. So this year you can trade up to like 2028, right? They want to make it 5 years. So I can give you a pick that's 5 years down the road. As an exchange,
you can mortgage the whole future of your team.
Correct. I think that's what they're after.
Jesus, that feels like a bad idea.
Spoken like a true Cleveland Brown thing. And then the NFL is exploring replacement refs. By the way, because the CBA for the refs is over in May. It expires in May, and they're not sure that they're going to get a new one done. And they did have to in 2012. They had to get replacement refs. They played. They were in 3 games, the first 3 games of the season before they signed a new CBA and the new refs come back. The regular refs came back, but the NFL is exploring replacement refs and rule tweaks, I guess. And I haven't read about them yet, but there was a thing in here. There was a story in here talking about rule tweaks for if they had replacement refs. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're going to change the rules because you've got replacement refs? I don't like the idea of that.
I don't like that either.
That doesn't sound like a thing that we should be doing. NFL, I'm looking at you. Let me see if I can find the story. And while we're talking about that, tell me how wrong or how right Joe Flacco is for calling teams dumb for not signing him to be a starter.
Well, gosh,
That's what I
that's a
said.
brutal. It's it's a hot take
It
by
is
Joe Flacco.
for sure.
However, I agree with it to the extent that I agree with Cam Newton being upset with people for not signing him either. I think that Cam Newton has something in the tank, and for whatever reason, people are just kind of ignoring it, I suppose. Or whatever. Like they don't want to deal with whatever drama he brings. You can't say that's a Joe Flacco problem. And I do think he's got some in the tank still. But like to be a starter though, like how much are you like how much do you really want to play in the season?
Right.
Like you don't have to, bud. You've been around, you got a Super Bowl ring. Like you don't have to do this. Like you're not proving anything anymore. So I'd say it's if five's in the middle and 10 is he's absolutely right and one is he's ridiculous. I'd say it's like a 4 or 3. He's leaning towards like come on, like I know you want to be a starter, but you ain't gotta try and call people out when you're 40. Like it's
Yeah.
not. No one's gonna go. Okay, he's right. We should go ahead and get him in here. Like no one's gonna do that, so it doesn't help you.
Puka Nakua has been sued, by the way, over an alleged anti-Semitic remark and/or biting a woman on the shoulder.
It's 2 different events.
Yeah, yeah, but it's
Wait,
the same
is it two
woman.
different events?
It's the same woman.
Oh,
Yeah, it happened on the same night, but yeah, she, yeah. So I don't know that any of that's true, but apparently he bit her on the shoulder in a limo ride after he had made a anti-Semitic remark at a party, right? And I don't understand why she would have gotten in the cab with him if she felt, and the term is, um, immediately felt uncomfortable and emotionally distressed because of her Jewish faith. So if he said that at some point in time, why would you get in a limo with him later? That's just me. What do I know? But I don't know anything. But this is all this is a TMZ report at this point. It is not
well,
you know.
it's got to be an actual legal
Oh
claim.
yeah, it's an
I'll
actual.
be honest with you. Nowadays, TMZ is damn near the best place to get your information. Like,
It's true.
it's just silly. The girl's name is Madison Atiabi,
Atiabi. Yep.
and yeah, and there's a video out there of her dancing in a limo near a passed out Nakua. Like
Yeah.
he's like passed out on the seat. Like, oh gosh, guys, just go to bed. Like,
Just
be
yeah.
nothing good happens after midnight.
That's true.
Just stay inside.
Um, Also, the Seahawks are going to open the season on a Wednesday. Um, they're playing on a Wednesday night in Seattle, right? Um, because the Thursday night game, which is actually Friday morning, is the Rams and the Niners in Melbourne, Australia, which is the first ever game in Australia. That's going to be Thursday night because it's actually Friday morning, which is weird, right? But
That's pretty exciting.
well, it is kind of strange. But the last time the NFL opened on a Wednesday was in 2012, the Giants and the Cowboys, because then President Barack Obama was giving a speech at the Democratic National Convention on Thursday night, and they didn't want to overshadow that. Here's what's going to be most interesting about this. Where did it go? There's a 1961 Sports Broadcasting Act. Okay,
Okay.
that does not allow broadcasts of professional football games on any Friday or Saturday from the second Friday in September through the second Saturday in December. No NFL
Okay.
game can be Friday or Saturday from the second Friday in September through the second Saturday in December. You can't have an NFL game broadcast on Friday or Saturday. So previously in the years, the first NFL game fell on the first Friday. You could have game on Friday.
Yeah.
But this year it's going to be the second. The opening weekend is the second Friday. So they can't because the Broadcasting Act that's 60 years old says no, we can't do that. It's weird.
Yeah, they're just gonna go ahead and ignore that.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
it doesn't.
yeah. I mean, so it's weird
The
to me.
broadcasting act that was made when there was 3 broadcasting companies and
Agreed.
no streaming.
That's true. But I think the whole point of it was to not overshadow high school football or college football. That was the whole point of it.
Those don't make money though. Well, high school football doesn't make money. College
It's
football
true.
does though.
That's a good point.
So,
Anyway, so there's
but the
going to be
Seahawks. So I'm looking here. The Seahawks are they start the season and the list of possible opponents are Cardinals, Bears, Cowboys, Chiefs, Chargers, Giants, Pats. Those are the 7 teams that they're playing at home this year.
yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to see what happens there.
There's
I'm kind of hoping it's a rematch, Pats Seahawks.
That'd be good. Or Kansas City would be a good one, right?
Kansas City would be definitely a draw.
That'd
Like
be a
people are
draw.
gonna show up for that.
Agreed.
Also, they play the Broncos this season. This is just assuming it's a home game. Did they already announce? Oh yeah. Defending champions, they host an opening game at Lumen Field. Okay, so yeah, they also play the Broncos this year and in Denver. And so I'm already trying to work things out with people like
Yeah.
come to Denver. Let's watch the Broncos and Seahawks here in town.
Agreed.
So, but yeah,
I might have to go.
I like that. How do you feel about an Australia game?
I'm not a fan of the fact that there's 9 international games this year. I mean, I don't know. I understand branching out and trying to sell your product internationally, but Melbourne's that's a whole nother. You've been going to Europe, right? Which I get. Mexico, I understand it's nearby. Melbourne's that's a whole nother. That's a tomorrow game, right? You got to fly there. You got to get there. The logistics are not that much fun, and it's not played today. It's played tomorrow because of the time difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes a whole nother thing. I don't know. I'm okay with it, I guess, but I feel like you're taking away games from U.S. fans and putting them somewhere
Sure.
else. Yeah, so I don't get to see. So my team only gets, instead of having 9 home games, I get 8 home games, and maybe that was the one game I would have been able to go to. Now I can't because it's in Australia. I don't know.
Do you think that this is possibly teams going, all right, well, maybe we have some smaller attendance issues, like not like attendance, because they always will say they're sold out, but like maybe a team's like, all right, well, maybe we can't fill out all of our September games entirely. So we'll go to Munich
Maybe.
and we'll go play in the Bayern soccer stadium, which I think is I think it's where Detroit's playing. It's a bigger stadium than what Detroit has. And we'll sell that out. Like, there's no way it's cost effective and offsets it. And worst come to worst, you gain some new fans. But like, maybe this is just like a response. Yeah, they're trying to grow the game and put it in other places, but the problem is that you're not doing anything to make me want to go to more games by having games be $200 a piece. Like, I can only go to 2. If you have a low attendance game in the middle, it's because you're playing the Jets in week 6 and I don't want to spend $200 to go to that.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll go to it in Germany, but I'm not going to it.
Allianz Arena, by the way, in Munich, 75,000 is what it holds. 75,024.
That's got to be close to
Yeah.
the Lions Stadium.
And it has 106 luxury boxes with over 2,000 business seats.
Business seats.
Business
for business
seats.
is done.
For business, yeah. Got to do business.
For business purposes.
Yeah.
Football is 65,000, expandable to 70,000 in Detroit. So it's close at Ford Field.
Yeah. There's nothing better than a business beer when you're at the football game. I don't
business, well, especially when you're in a business seat.
Business seat, enjoying a business
wearing
beer.
Business apparel,
Business suit.
having a business beer, talking business in general.
That's true.
Yeah, that does seem.
I feel like there's nothing better than
ridiculous.
A couple of American businessmen traveling to Munich to, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know.
I just think about Barney Stinson yelling at the TSA people. We are international businessmen.
Oh, it's all true. NBA is coming down to the final bit of the season. There's 11 games, 10 games, somewhere in that ballpark left for everybody. It's if you're a Portland Trailblazer fan, and I am, they're actually in 9th now, right? And I got a chance to catch the Clippers right at 8th.
We're bouncing between 9th and 8th because
yeah.
we were a half game back like yesterday or something like that. So, yeah. But I think we're playing right now. So,
and I didn't see.
We'll see.
I didn't see, and I probably should have pulled this up somewhere. I didn't see if the NBA had made their vote this week. Have they had their meeting this week about
The NBA. Oh,
expansion?
on the expansion.
Yeah,
Yes. So they have voted and they are going
they're going
to
forward.
start accepting bids with
Gotcha.
expansion exclusively for LA and
L,
Seattle. So,
Las Vegas and Seattle.
oh, sorry, Las Vegas,
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
LA, LV.
yeah.
So as long as there's a bid that
Right.
is between what they say, 7
7 to
billion to 10 billion
10 billion. Yeah,
range.
that's a lot.
Yep. Then there will be a team roughly 20, what is it, 2028, 2029, something like that in those cities.
Yeah, 28-29 season would be the starting what they're hoping to do. Las
Two
Vegas,
years away.
Las Vegas has become this gigantic sports mecca, right? Um,
Hmm.
they've lured
Thanks
away a
to
baseball
gambling.
team and a yeah, right, and a football team. Now they're gonna have a basketball team. They got a hockey team. Um, I don't know. I mean, it seems like
It's the mob, man. They're back.
is that what it is? It could be.
Yeah.
Seattle probably deserves to have a team. Of
They
all the
didn't
teams,
deserve to lose their team.
that's what I'm saying. You should still
And
have one.
that's why they deserve to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're a Sonics fan, and I'm hoping they'll be the Supersonics again. They were talking about this, and I read a story about this about how the history of the franchise, right, will become Seattle's again if they have another team. If they put Seattle back in, can they use the Supersonics name? Is what the question was, and they're like, yes,
Oh, interesting.
yes, they can because the Thunder don't own the Supersonics name. There's something in the way that it happened when they moved, when they bought the team, that Seattle still retains all of the history. So, like the retired jerseys. There's no Seattle retired jerseys in Oklahoma City.
Huh.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's
So,
kind of cool.
yeah. So they'll be able to retain the Supersonics name. They'll be able to keep their history. So, like the leading scorer in Oklahoma City is not the leading scorer in franchise history.
Yeah.
Someone from Seattle or like Gary Payton who holds the record for assists in the franchise, but according to Oklahoma City, he's not their leading assist guy because he never played in
Ah,
Oklahoma
I
City,
see.
right? So yeah, it's interesting that they've got that distinction between the two, which is great because Seattle's going to get all of their history back and all of their retired jerseys are still there and all, you know what I mean? But the fact that it was Key Arena was the problem before, and now that it's Climate Pledge and they've redone everything, and it's better, so a more better situation for Seattle. So hopefully they'll get a team. I'm looking forward to it because I'd like to go to some NBA basketball. I'd like to watch Portland and Seattle play. I'd go to those games. Right? That used to be a gigantic
It is
rivalry.
really convenient living in a town with an NBA team because you can just
Here's yeah.
like tickets are not that crazy. Like there you can get tickets to a Nuggets game for $15, sit in the nosebleeds. It's nice.
One more question for you. One of the
Yep.
teams in the West is gonna have to go east to make this balance out because Las Vegas
Minnesota,
and Seattle, Memphis
Memphis, yeah. Oh, sorry,
So
has to go east, not
has
come
to go
west. Yeah,
has to go
Memphis,
east. Yeah. So
Memphis for sure.
the question they had was Memphis, New Orleans, or Minnesota, right?
Memphis.
And I can see Memphis. I mean,
It's in Tennessee. Tennessee is south. That's the way,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
in
east.
a rough way of saying it.
It's in
Yeah,
the Middle East.
it's
Um,
it's in the
yeah.
southeast, Middle East.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting to me that someone's going to have to change this. It's like the NFL did too. Seattle changed from AFC to NFC. The Major League Baseball did it. Houston um, is an American League team now and not a National League team.
Well, I saw that divisional redraw that has Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and Sacramento in one division as the four. Because right, yeah, adding two more would essentially make another division, right? If you move people around, is that what
Yeah,
it
you're
is?
going to have to do that.
So there's something like that, but that's the four, and then it's like, oh wait, was it Seattle, Portland, Golden State,
Golden State.
Sacramento?
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's those four, basically Seattle or San Francisco up, and
right.
then there's another grouping that now becomes Clippers, Lakers, Phoenix, and I don't know who else we put in there. Utah, maybe they're kind of like in that little
Utah.
LA
Yeah. So, I
or not LA, Las Vegas. I mean,
I
Las
kind of
Vegas would be in there.
I kind of like the idea of having it be. I don't know. It depends on how many teams you need. If you need four, right? You could do. I think honestly, you could do um, Utah, Denver, Portland, and Seattle.
Yeah.
But that would be a pretty clump because if you start including Northern California, I think those are further away technically than Denver and Utah.
Yeah.
So, but maybe for travel purposes, it'd be a lot easier if you had some teams that were closer together. But if you had to have a fifth team into that group, throw Minnesota in there. Then you got all this north, right? This whole northwest. It used to be the Northwest Division, I think, honestly.
But Minnesota really needs to be with like Chicago and
Chicago.
Detroit
Yeah,
and those places. Yeah. I
agreed.
think that makes the most sense for them having to play the most games.
Yeah,
But the problem is like you start bouncing this out. So I'm looking at one person's idea here, and it's a bigger division. It's a Western division and an Eastern division within the wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. Seattle, Las Vegas, Portland, LA, Golden State, Clippers, Sacramento, Phoenix, and then the Eastern Division, Memphis could join the Southeast Division with teams like Heat, Hawks, Hornets.
right.
I don't know. It's
But
just
they
it's so weird.
but they haven't really gone. I mean, they have divisions, but that it really doesn't matter. The divisions really don't matter unless you're winning your division, right? Um,
It's true.
but they stopped doing that now, right? It's just the top 8 teams. It's not, or 10 teams now. It's not your division. If you're the division winner, it doesn't automatically make you one of the top 4, right? Like it used to. I don't think. Is that true? It used to be
Something
that
like that,
way.
yeah.
If you won the division, you were one of the top 4, regardless of your record. Which, but I'm looking at the Eastern Conference like records right now. The Eastern Conference standings. Detroit is the pleasant surprise of the NBA. Let's be fair. I wouldn't have picked Detroit to be 52-19 at this point.
Very surprising.
Very surprising. The rest of those teams, Boston, New York, Cleveland. Cleveland's better than I would think. Toronto,
Well,
Atlanta.
last year they were the 2 seed,
That's
I think,
true.
right?
That's true. But the Sixers, and the Heat are down there. The Bucks are not going to make the playoffs, right? The Pacers, who are in the playoffs sometimes and not in the playoffs, they're last in the whole, NBA.
Yeah, they're tanking. I
They're
said
ta-
I
yeah,
said this way earlier. They're tanking.
that's entirely possible. But this is this is what I used to see. So when back in the day, the Western Conference, all of the teams that made the playoffs were over 500, and I was wondering why all those teams in the East, there were like 3 or 4 of them that would be under 500, right? Well, it has swapped because the Eastern Conference, the worst team at 10, Miami, is 38-34, and then if you look at the Western Conference, there's Golden State at 34 and 38 at the 10th spot, and the Portland, who's also under 500, and the Clippers, who are at 500. Right? So there's not as many good teams, although Oklahoma City and San Antonio are playing great basketball. The rest of them are kind of okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's an interesting situation, and I don't like the play-in games. I'm not a big fan. The expanded playoffs just don't thrill me. The one and done thing, like Golden State's going to play Portland. Okay, great. Um, I I don't like those games. Just for the fact that we're going to add another team so we can have 4 more playoff games, right? To play in to become the top 8. Well, why don't you just make them finish in the top 8? That makes the regular season games worth more. You got to win more games.
In theory.
Yeah.
But then how are you going to sell the tickets?
Well, then
You
put
gotta
everybody in the
sell
playoffs.
tickets.
Put everybody in.
I actually from a business standpoint, I actually kind of agree. Although if you're a really bad team, there's like a balance of if you're super bad, no one's going to come watch you get blown out versus a 1 seed. Like super bad. Like if you're there's a couple years ago where a team got into the playoffs and they were I can't remember what they were. It was before the play-in, but they were basically like a 30-win team. They just snuck through however they got there. I can't remember how, but they got there that way. And their attendance was like sub 30% because they just got, and they did. They got worked in the first round and everyone moved along with their lives.
Yeah.
So you have to be competitive enough to have value, but not so bad. It's the balance there, I guess.
I think if you want to have chaos, then you do this. If you win the conference, there's 15 teams in the Western Conference, right? If you win the conference, you're the number 1 seed, you get a bye. Everybody else has to play. 2 plays 15, 3 plays 14. You're going to have 7 winners, right? And 1 bye, so you're going to have 8 teams. And now you can go on with your conference playoffs, right? The caveat to that is it's a 1 game. San Antonio plays Sacramento, 1 game. If Sacramento wins, they move on. San Antonio, you're 55, 56 wins. Bye. See ya. Have a nice day. Doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah.
And that way you got chaos, right? And now anybody could beat anybody for one
Yeah.
game. So anyway, just a
Here,
thought.
here's all I'm saying is the Portland Trailblazers traded CJ McCollum. For the next 2 years, they didn't make the playoffs. The New Orleans Pelicans traded CJ McCollum. They're now eliminated from the playoffs. And then the Wizards traded CJ McCollum, and they are also eliminated from the playoffs. And guess where CJ is? That's right, on the number 6 team in the playoffs in the East, Hawks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, guys, open your eyes. It's
Yeah.
time to start keeping this dude around and quit making this foolish mistakes. Also, Blazers, please bring CJ back.
and
I've
go
got 20 jerseys in my closet that need to be worn.
and go sign Giannis. Go get you.
Oh, I don't want him now. He's got 7 injuries in the last 2 years. I don't
But he doesn't have to be
want
the.
him anymore.
He doesn't have to be. He could be the sixth man.
You're not going to pay a 6-man $35 million a year.
No, but you don't have to if he
You're
keeps
not
getting
going to do
injured.
it.
Anyway,
You're gonna have to because of his brand. You have to pay for Giannis, not what Giannis is producing. You're paying for the name.
I'd give it. I would.
He's too expensive.
I would sign him to an incentive-laden contract and say, you know
Yeah,
what?
and he's not going to sign that contract. Instead, he'll go over to the Hawks
That's
or
fine.
the Wizards or the Pels, who are offering him a non-incentive laden contract. His contract right now this year is 48.7. Or sorry. There's this year 25, 26. 54.1.
Yeah.
It goes up to 58.4 next year, and then he has a player option at 62.7. Jesus. That's what is the NBA salary cap?
Probably about that.
Like no, not 62. There's no way. It's 60. The salary cap is 165.
So that's half of it, or
You're
whatever.
gonna pay.
Quarter of it.
You're gonna pay. Yeah, 40% to one man
Well,
who now has an injury history. No
okay.
fucking way. I'll take Giannis for 25.
Hold on.
I'm gonna do it like a car dealership where I'm gonna put 25 on the table, and if he doesn't take it, I'm walking out.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw a name out here, right? And so you apply this same logic. Ready? Damian Lillard.
Okay. Too much. 30 something, right? 30 whatever.
He's three.
To sit on the bench.
It's 42. Yeah, 42 to 45 million.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much.
It is too much.
Not for if he comes back and goes ham, and I'm talking just bonkers, ballistic, old school vintage Dame, you will be able to justify why you did this for a year. If he comes back and is the 6th, 7th man and barely plays and doesn't do well, that hurts.
I will say this though: the Bucks are paying part of the contract, so that's why he's
that
getting
is nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of money though.
But his average annual salary is 13.87 or something.
Also,
like that,
14.
So
like he's gonna get $14 million from the Blazers.
It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, but still, it's worth a lot of damn money.
My problem is once you get above making 30 million, you become harder and harder to justify if you're not producing at the craziest of levels. And Giannis is not. He's hurt. And when he's on the court, his team isn't winning games because he's a one-trick pony who can dunk and block, and that's about it. He's a big man, but not the biggest man. Wemby makes him look small. We can't have that. You can't have Wemby making you look small at 40 million a year.
Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous.
The Blazers.
He's not worth it. Honestly, I wanted him 2 years ago. I don't want him now.
Honestly, the Blazers need to just get rid of every big man and just go small. Just play small ball because every time they pick a big man, it's a problem. So.
No. What they need to do is whatever their instinct is, whatever it is. So let's say they're like, oh man, like, oh, Donovan Clingan. Well, Donovan Clingan is actually doing
pretty good pick.
But let's say they're like, oh, this guy looks really good. Somebody needs to slap him in the back of the head and say, what's the opposite of that guy? Go with that guy because at least he'll last.
Oh my God.
I don't know. It's just the Blazers struggle to make decisions, and I don't know about this new GM Cronin, I think is his name.
Yeah.
I'm not super sold on him. And the free agents next year are, Steph Curry is a free agent next year.
Sure.
Do we
He's
want
also
him at
expensive.
62 million?
That's a lot of money.
62 million. Anthony Davis is a free agent next year.
No.
Do we want him at 58?
No. No, we don't. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
No, we do not.
So Kawhi Leonard is a free agent next year.
Eh,
Do you want him at 49? No, he's constantly hurt too.
yeah, it's that too.
It's real difficult to find a good person would be like Isaiah Hartenstein. He's young. He's a
Yeah.
center. He's got longevity. He's still 29 million a year. You're paying quite the
Couple dollars.
what's it called? The tax on him for the title. But yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough sledding to find a team out there.
Yeah. I'll agree. And it gets harder and harder as we go because people are worth more and more apparently. I don't know what they are, but I mean the dollar amounts keep going up. They never go down. So
Yeah.
yeah. What are you gonna do?
It's just difficult. I don't know who to, and we always get to these people late, like super late. So it's like, ugh. But I mean, like Luguentz Dort is a free agent next year at 16.5
Lou
million is what his
Dort?
average annual value is. Lou Dort.
Lou
So
Dort.
he's probably gonna try and command $20 million a year. And I would consider paying him $20 million a year, assuming he continues to play with that sort of defensive intensity. But there's not many guys like that. There's just so few that I'm willing to pay the money for and not be like, well, I'll just try and draft someone and see what happens.
Right. Yeah.
So
I feel like that's the way you have to go. Is you have to just
yeah.
draft someone and go. Let's start over and get young talent. Anyway, I don't know.
Nicholas Batum's available next year,
Hey,
5.7
we
million.
can go back to the old
19
days.
years in the league.
He's been around a couple
And
Sundays.
Brooke Lopez is available? Are you kidding?
We can
You're
get 'em
kidding
both?
me. They're both available?
Yeah.
Bro, let's just recreate it.
Yeah. Just,
Let's just
yeah,
recreate it.
run it back. There's a couple guys missing there, but yeah.
Start lubing up the knees, guys. Come on, we can do this.
And you can sign a deal with Ben Gay or whoever, right? With one of the,
A team deal, like
A team-
right there, a little patch
Yeah.
on the side that
Yeah.
says Ben Gay.
yeah, right. This our
Now we're talking.
35-year-old average age team is brought to you by. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
It's brought to you by Advil.
Guaranteed to be the slowest team in the league. I don't know.
Well, you know what? If you play solid defense, you don't really have to leave the backside of the court.
That's true.
So
And we have
like the game could be 2-0 and
you can sponsor Old Timers Night, right, at the Coliseum, and just come on out.
Old timers night.
Old Timers Night. Anybody who was alive the last time the Blazers won a championship. Anyway, I don't know.
Wait, how old could you be at a minimum? 77, so it would be
you have to be 50.
3 plus
Yeah,
you'd be
49.
52 or 53. Yeah.
49 years old.
Is that right?
77. Yeah, 49
Four-
years old.
Jesus.
It's been
not
49 years
bad.
since they won a championship. But yeah, you'd have to be 49 or older.
Would we count babies? Would we be like, oh yeah, you were born the day before they won it?
I mean,
like you're in.
The rule is if you were alive the last time they won a championship, we'll get you one free ticket for Old Timers Night.
Oh, but how are you going to argue with that crazy Portland lady that comes in that says that this is just my current reincarnation? I was alive last time.
That's true.
They
That is-
won it.
That is
Yeah,
the thing.
I'll tell you what. You just let her in. You go. Yep, go on in.
You could do that. That's one option,
I'm not
or you
gonna
could
argue with that.
Or you could, if you can show me the birth certificate from that, and then you're in. That's all you need.
Can I get your last incarnation's birth certificate, please?
Yeah, show me the driver's license from that time. You're in. That's all there is to it.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a good point. There is some keep Portland weird people in there. Anything else you want to
Yeah.
talk about before we go? We got to go because we've been on here a couple seconds. So. Plus, some of us have to
That's
some of us are getting old.
gotta
and
work tomorrow.
It's almost bedtime. Well, speaking of old timers,
But
man.
it's 7:30.
I gotta go do things. I haven't really eaten anything. I got, you know what I mean? I gotta go. I got things I gotta do before I go to bed.
Okay.
There's a process. Gotta watch
get it.
Jeopardy. There's a lot of things happening.
Oh, I know who wins.
Let me just tell you know who wins Jeopardy?
I do because we watch him every day.
I'll bet it's Jamie Ding.
I bet it's Jimmy.
Because he's been awful good. So there we
I
go.
always make fun of him because I always say like he's got like this little voice in his head telling him to smile.
Yeah.
And he's not believing it
And
all the time
no.
because the camera will pan to him. He just gives this weird like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Like
it's like,
someone from the show has been telling him to smile, and he's like, "Okay, I'll try."
yeah,
And then
I'll try.
he also gives that Forrest Gump wave at the beginning when he every time the camera pans at him, he's got a little Forrest Gump wave that he
Forrest Gump.
gives.
Cassie
Uh,
Cassie doesn't like him
well, I don't.
because he's so fast on the buzzer.
Yeah,
He's I don't know. He's
yeah.
smart. He knows a lot of
He's pretty
crap. This is
smart.
an off-air conversation. It's good.
He's a pretty smart guy.
But
Yeah. I mean, I hate all those people that are really good at it just because I want to be really good at it.
well, I've
Did
seen people be good at it who are also like really charming, and you go, "Oh, good for them." But
I'm due to.
when they're not charming, you just think
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, nerd alert."
And one last thing before we go. Did I tell you? So I'm due to take the anytime test again. You can take the anytime test anytime, although you can only take it so often, right? You can't take it like every day.
Okay.
So, but you can take it. Used to be they had dates. On this date, we'll have a test at 6 p.m. Pacific. If you can't make it, that's just too bad, right? Now it's like we'll let you take the test anytime, but you have to wait so long between tests, right? After you've taken the test, you have to wait X amount of time before you can take the test again. But you can take it whenever you want, 2 in the morning,
Interesting.
whatever, right? Which is easier, it makes it better, right? I don't have to wait for a specific time to take this. I can just take it whenever. The last time I took the test, last year, um, your mother wasn't home. I was home by myself. We have a new puppy. He wasn't super puppy, but he was probably 4 or 5 months, right? At the time. I bring him into the office. He curls up at my feet, right under the desk, just like a good dog does. I start the countdown, right? I log in 15 minutes early. I've checked my browser. The world is good, right? Okay, I'm ready for this. And the countdown happens. There's like get this little 15-second countdown, right? It counts it down. And it reminds you of a couple rules and this and that and whatever. Basically, the test is 50 questions from 50 different categories. Okay? Each
Okay.
question is from a different category. It's not like a regular Jeopardy game where you have 5 from one category and you have 5 from another category. It is 50 questions from 50 completely different categories.
Okay.
First question comes up, I answer it. Great. Second question comes up, I answer it. Third question comes up, Milo throws up on my feet. Yeah. And I don't know
That's good.
I don't know what happened, but at that point I was like, this test is pretty much over. This
Like, I don't know if I'm gonna survive this test.
I was like, oh my gosh, and I tried to ignore that for a question or two. And then it was just like, nope, this has got to happen. Sorry. So I didn't do very well on the
And
last
now
one.
we shut the door so Milo can't get in.
Yeah, that's not happening on this one. The next one. So when I take the test again. Anyway, thought I would share.
All right.
That's a
I'll take the test too, and I'll let you know.
Take
Wait,
the
do you
test.
type out the answer?
Yeah, you have to type it out. You've got like 30 seconds
Oh.
for each question to type out an answer.
Oh, for the answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to type it out. Yeah, you can't answer it. It doesn't have to be in the form of a question. You just have to know the answer. So you just type it in a
How
little
does
line.
it affect you with like spelling?
Yeah,
Like, what if they ask you about something in French and you mess up the spelling?
you don't have to be perfect, unless the category is spelling, right?
Oh, okay. Well,
Right.
that tracks.
So you just have to be close enough for them to understand your answer, really. So if they get the gist of what you're trying to say, you know what I mean. If the answer is supposed to be black and you put green, you're not going to get it right. But if you put bluck or block, they're probably going to give you credit for it. That's how it works. They
They'd
don't.
be like, well, he knew what he was doing. He
Yeah.
just hit a he
It's
fat
a
he
typo.
fat fingered a key.
Things happen with typo.
Yeah.
They don't tell you how you did. What happens is your score gets submitted. If it's high enough and they need contestants, they call you. And then they do a phone
Now, do
interview.
they fly you out?
Not then and there. They'll do a phone interview and they'll do a phone test, like a phone game over the phone kind of, right? Where you answer questions. And then you'll go back into a pool. If you're good enough then, if they like you, they'll put you back into a pool. And then if they draw your name the next time, they will fly you out for a test. You go out there and you actually play a game. But it's not on TV. So you actually
Oh,
do a whole
cool.
game, right? There's like a simulated game. And then they do, if you pass that, then they can draw you as a contestant and put you on the TV. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a long process. It won't happen like right away, but I've been taking this test for a long time. I think I do pretty well, and then no one ever calls me.
Do they have like practice tests you can take?
There's a practice test online. If you go to Anytime Test, there's an actual practice one you can take right there. But it
Okay.
only has one set of
I'll give
answers.
it a whirl.
They don't put a new practice test on there. It's the same practice test every time. So you can only do it once.
Oh, so you do it once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, it's on there. It's pretty cool. Anyway, that's all we have. I was just gonna thought I would just throw that out there. Your Jeopardy facts for the day. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox Sports, ESPN, the National Lacrosse League, the NBA, the NFL, and all those people. Next week, we got more because we're going to have F1 to talk about, and we've got more National Lacrosse League action. We'll update you on all that stuff and keep you updated on the NHL too. Thanks for listening. This has been a Brain Rock production, a division of Lonely Tree Media. We'll see you next week.